back to my channel. Today, I don't know if y'all saw that fly, but geez, that thing came in hot. I'm doing a Q&A today. I put up something on my story last week and today asking if y'all had any questions for me for a Q&A, and I did get a few responses, so I did want to go through and answer some of the questions y'all had. I'm sorry about the lighting. I feel like I say that like every 3 videos. Sorry about the lighting. It sucks in here. Sorry. There's not much I can do about it other than, well, really nothing. It's dark outside, and this is about as bright as it's gonna get in my house right now, so I'm sorry. I've been wanting to do a Q&A for a while because the last time I did one, I only had like 4 subscribers, so I have like 40 now, so there's quite a few more people that have came in that had questions that I didn't answer in the last one. So I wanted to be able to answer everybody's questions that you have as of now. So the first one is, how old were you when you had your first baby? My first baby was Bella, and I had her whenever I was 20 when I had her. I found out I was pregnant whenever I was 19, and I had her whenever I was 20. We found out I was pregnant with her right before our 1-year anniversary. Right? Yeah. And I had her January of 2018. So I found out I was pregnant with her on Mother's Day of 2017. If you had another baby, would you choose an epidural? I know that you had this one natural and you had one with Bella, so would you choose to be natural this time? Honestly, it wasn't that bad. The pushing wasn't hard. The worst part was the contractions, but I could do it again. I told Jed that that was my worst fear of my whole life, was having to have a baby and feeling everything, and I did it. So it was like proving to myself that I could do it, because with Bella I was so terrified out of my mind because she was my first baby. I was terrified that it was just going to continue to get worse and worse until I like passed out. That's what I thought, or like I was gonna puke everywhere, which happens to a lot of people and that's fine, but I am scared of puking, which is funny coming from me because I had HG with both of my kids, so I puked all the time, constantly. But since I had puked the whole pregnancy, my biggest fear was like puking on a doctor, and thank goodness I didn't throw up the whole time I was there. I didn't throw up with either of my kids while I was there. So no, I would try my hardest to do it natural again. It was so empowering. I have nothing against epidurals. I'm the girl that's like, goes in and is like, give me all the drugs. This hurts. Like, help me. And I think I actually said that whenever I went in with Ellie. The nurse was like, we still have to draw your blood and we still have to run blood work and make sure that yada yada yada. We have to give you your bag of fluids and like all this stuff. And I was like, anything you can give me all the drugs. And nothing worked. So I should have just dealt with it, really. But since I've been through it, it was so empowering at the end. I remember looking at Jed. I think the first thing I said was, oh my god, I can't believe I just did that. And that's what I said to him. Like, I cannot believe that I was strong enough to do that. Like, the same person that bawled because she threw up in the toilet just went through hard labor, and I did it. And I think that that was so empowering to me, to be like, I'm so strong that I could do that. And it's okay if you can't. I mean, I'm not saying that it makes you weak because you get an epidural. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, for me, it was so empowering to overcome that fear, because it was like a really big fear of mine. And another thing is, with Bella, the way I looked at it was, they make these drugs for a reason, and they make them to help you, so why wouldn't you use them? Like, that's all I could think of. But now I understand, now that I've done it without the drugs, I see why people do it without them. And I know that makes me sound crazy, but I can understand, like, how it's different. I felt more connected to the birth. Not that I felt disconnected with Bella, but it was kind of like an out-of-body experience for a minute. Pushing and stuff, I just didn't feel as connected. I could still feel a whole lot with Bella, but I just didn't feel as connected to the birth. With Ellie, I was like in there. I was really alert, and it just made the whole experience different. I'm not going to say better, but it made it so much different for me, and I'm so glad I've gotten to experience it both ways. So if I had another one, I would try my hardest just to do it natural, but I have nothing against an epidural, and I have nothing against any of the drugs that they give you, so I'm all for it. How did you come up with your baby's names? Bella, her real name is Jency Arabella. I came up with Jency because it's my mom's name. Her name is Jency Aline, and my niece already has the middle name Aline. So I wanted to come up with another A middle name. And I found Arabella. I've always, since I was a little kid, said that if I had a little girl that I would name her Isabella. But as I've gotten older, I've really liked the more unique names. Something that not everybody has, but not so strange that my kid wouldn't be able to spell it or wouldn't be able to like learn their name. So I chose Arabella. I can't remember what it means. The meaning behind it was just so perfect for her. With Elliot, I chose Elliot because I just love that name. We chose Catherine because my sister was adopting a little girl and her name was Catherine, and she passed away. So we named her after them. I'm pretty sure it's his grandma, Catherine. If not, then it's someone in his family. Their name is Catherine as well. And so we were just like, that's extremely fitting. So we'll just use that, and I have loved it. We call her Ellie Kate a lot. I just really love her name. Did you want girls or did you want boys? Were you disappointed whenever you found out you were having girls? No, actually. When I found out I was pregnant with Bella, the first thing I did was go straight to my Pinterest, and I had been pinning baby girl stuff for like a year. Like, since we had gotten married, I'd been pinning baby stuff that was all little girl stuff. I had never pinned one little boy thing on my Pinterest. So it was almost like I knew that I was going to be a girl mom. And then whenever I found out it was a girl, I was ecstatic. Like, I was so excited. I wanted a girl so bad. And then whenever I got pregnant with Ellie, I was almost scared that I was going to have a boy, because I was like, I feel like I'm meant to be a girl mom. Not saying I don't want a boy. I'm just saying for my second kid, I wanted another girl. And I definitely wasn't disappointed. It was just, when you don't know if you're going to have another kid, you're almost like, well, I want a boy and a girl. And I know Jed wanted a boy this time around. So that almost had me leaning more towards boy. But I was so happy even for it to be a girl with Ellie. I just feel like I'm meant to be a girl mom. I feel like no matter how many kids we decide to have, they're all going to be girls. I saw you share a post about how you would definitely consider being a surrogate for someone in need, especially someone in your family. What are your thoughts on that? Why did you say that? I would for sure consider being a surrogate. The only thing is that I do have issues with HG. So since that's in my history, I think that it's harder to become a surrogate if you have things like that make you a little more high risk. If you've had previous pregnancies and you've had issues like that before, then it's harder to become a surrogate. But if, like, one of my sisters came to me and they said, hey, obviously we're having issues getting pregnant. Is there any way you would consider carrying our child? Of course I would. That's something that, even if it was someone like a cousin, like anyone, really, if they came to me personally and said, hey, even if I didn't know them very well, if they came to me and they were like, I know I don't know you very well, but we have been having issues getting pregnant and we saw that you would consider it, so would you be our surrogate? I would definitely say yes. I'm all for it. It would be difficult. That's not something that's easy, especially bonding with a child over 9 months, feeling kicks, and then going through the whole birthing process. That cannot be easy. But being able to watch the joy in someone else's lives because of that, that's got to be the most fulfilling thing ever. Even losing that bond, giving someone else that joy has got to be like, because I know the joy that my girls bring in my life. So like, having that joy for someone else has got to be like the best feeling in the whole world. So I would definitely consider it, especially for family. So that's why I shared that, and that's why I posted that on Facebook. Just because I would definitely consider it. What is the best part of being a mom? The best part of being a wife, in parentheses. The best part about being a mom, I don't think that there is just one good thing that I could pick out that's the best. I would say probably now that Bella's getting older, I think the best part is seeing all the love that I've put into her come out of her. Like, she'll run up to me and voluntarily kiss me, or she'll ask for a kiss, or she'll hold my face like this and she'll pull me in and kiss me all by herself, or she'll ask me to lay down with her. She doesn't know how to say lay down, so she'll just say get down over and over until I get down onto her bed. Other than that, I really don't know. The best part about being a mom, I think that before I was a mom, I really had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I was really good in school. I played by all the rules, and I was a good kid. And I went to college, and I thought I wanted to be a vet, and I ended up hating it. And I really had no idea where my life was going. And I felt really disappointed in myself. But after I had Bella, I can see now that that's where my life was supposed to go. I was meant to be a mom, and that's what I'm good at, and I love it. So I think that's probably one of the best parts, is being able to look at my kids and say, y'all shaped me into the person that I am, and I was meant to be your mom. It's so cool to watch them grow and look at them and be like, I cannot believe that I'm raising these little humans, and watching them turn into the people that they're supposed to be is so cool so far. I'm really loving watching Bella's personality take shape. It's so amazing, and she's such a good little girl. So I guess those are the best parts. There are definitely more, like cuddling Ellie until she falls asleep, or rocking Bella. I used to rock Bella every single night before she went to bed. There's just a million things. There's a million best parts of being a mom. About being a wife, I would say the best part is doing something like getting the house spotless clean before he comes home, and then him saying something about it. Like walking through the door and being like, oh honey, the house is so clean. That's one of the best parts about being a wife for me. That feeling of accomplishment whenever he praises me for something like that, or like, that sounded really weird, but like, making him his lunch, and then him texting me in the middle of the night being like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that the food was really, really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like, I think the best part about being a wife is being able to communicate like that with someone and be that close to someone that their words mean that much to you, that it can make or break your entire day, your entire week, honestly. Yeah, I think that's probably the best part for me, is having someone to communicate with. And I like being able to do things for him. So, let's see. What is the worst mom shaming that has happened to you? The worst mom shaming. Probably whenever I stopped breastfeeding Ellie. Now, keep in mind that I had already pumped for 6 weeks with Bella, and I knew what a milk protein allergy looked like. I knew what I was supposed to be looking for, and I had went through it, I think all the way to 8 weeks with Bella, of dealing with her issues, and I did not want to go through it again just to have to switch to formula then. So we got to the end of the week, and I stopped because there was blood in her poop. I took her to her pediatrician. I've told y'all this a million times. And she told us to stop because I wasn't on dairy anyway. It wasn't me eating dairy. It was just my milk, and she just couldn't handle it. So her intestines were so irritated that she was bleeding profusely. So I switched her to formula, and everyone in my family was super supportive. But it was, I think I went out somewhere, and I saw one of my friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. And they asked me how old she was, and I was like, oh, she's a week. And we'd gone out to eat or something. I just saw them out somewhere. And they stopped to talk to me for a while. And I pulled out a bottle, and I started mixing up the formula. And the look they gave me was the nastiest look I've ever seen. And this person had breastfed their children until they were 2. Like, really had gone at it, and that's wonderful, and I'm all for it. But my kids just can't handle it, and I don't know why my kids are like that, but they just couldn't handle it. So the way she looked at me, and then she said, "You've already quit," and I just wanted to like break down crying right there. Like, that almost broke me. I want to cry right now thinking about it. That was the worst thing that anyone has ever said to me. She said, "You already quit," like it was a choice for me to not be breastfeeding my child anymore. So that's the worst mom shaming that's happened to me. I never got shamed for breastfeeding in public. I never got shamed for anything else. Just that. And it was from a friend. Like, just someone that you wouldn't expect it from, and then in public, like where people could hear, and then said that. And that just like almost broke me, especially with being postpartum and having all those hormones. Like, it almost did it for me. Weird question, but do you have any allergies? Did your kids inherit anything weird from you, like allergies? My mom and I are both allergic to peanuts, and I was just curious. I'm really allergic to latex. Whenever I went to the hospital with both my girls, they had to put a poster up behind my head of the bed saying, "No latex." And then I had to wear a wristband that said, "Latex allergy." And then on my door, they had to put a sign that said, "Absolutely no latex." Because I'm like highly allergic. And Bella is allergic to latex. They had some latex band-aids that they put on her legs one time after shots. And I was like, "Are those latex?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I'm really allergic to latex. Is there any way, do you have any other band-aids?" And she was like, she should be okay. Just take it off in a few minutes after you're sure that the bleeding is finished. And I was like, okay. We got out to the car, and by the time I took that thing off, her skin all the way around, there was like this huge round circle of just whelps, like already starting to go all the way up her leg just from a Band-Aid. It's ridiculous. We're really allergic to that. I'm also allergic to sulfa. It's in some medications, but my kids didn't get that, so that's just me. You keep saying that you're moving, but you aren't moved out yet. What's up? We are moving, hopefully. We just got a notice on our door saying if we don't move, we'll have to start paying more rent here. So we need to get out of here. I'm going to try and give them our 30 days notice. Hopefully we'll be out by the end of the month or the beginning of next month. I'm trying to get a bunch of our furniture that we don't need sold so that I don't have to move stuff that I'm not going to have. I'm trying to get a new couch and love seat. So if I'm going to have a new couch and love seat, I'm not going to move my old couch to the new house and then have to move it again to someone else's house and move our new couch and love seat in. Like, that's just too much work. So I'm trying to sell a bunch of stuff before we go. That way it's less work for us and it's just easier. So we're just not moved out yet because we haven't found a place that we really love. So, but we're going to have to really book it this month because I want out of here, and I'm not going to pay as much rent as you would being in a house on this little tiny apartment. And we have to move because Bella's getting so big that it is so hard to stay in that little living room with her all day long. Like, it's getting really bad, and she's getting to the point where she wants to run and play, and Jed is like a foot away in this room sleeping. So it's impossible to keep her quiet, and it's just getting to the point where it's time. She's getting too big, and the space is quickly shrinking for us. So it's time for us to leave. And we are leaving, I promise. It's just a slow process right now. But I'm really trying. I think I'm going to go pick up some boxes, and to make it more real, I'm just going to start packing stuff up and just really try and get us out of here fast. So if you want my stuff, check on Facebook. I'm selling a bunch of stuff. Buy my stuff. So that's going to be all for this video, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you have any other questions, you can DM me on Instagram, private message me on Facebook. You can comment below. I can do another Q&A video in a couple of weeks. I love doing them. I love answering y'all's questions. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not already, because it's a fun community and we're having a great time, and I would love to have you here. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.